time words. So right now we have a clock here. And I'm going to take this clock and I'm going to divide it into 4 equal parts. When I divide my clock into 4 equal parts, then I can talk to you about time in words. When I look at just one part of my clock, let's see if I can get a crayon up here. When I look at 1/2 of my clock, when I look at this, I can say that half of the clock is shaded. Within this half of the clock, I can count the minutes around, starting at 0, 5, 10, 15, 20, 25, 30. So because there are 30 minutes on this side of the clock, many people use the word half past to describe 30 minutes instead of 6:30 or 7:30. They might say 7:30 or 6:30. So I'm going to write that. So 6:30 might be 6:30. Okay? So sometimes people also use the words, and I'm going to try to find a darker color. So I'm also going to color in just half of this half. So I'm just going to color in this 1/4. That is 1/4 because there are 4 parts of the clock that are the same size. So how many minutes are in just this 1/4 of this quarter? We can count. We see that there are 5, 10, 15 minutes are in this 1/4 or quarter of the clock. Because of that, whenever a time has a 15 at the end, say for instance 5:15, people will use the words quarter after 5. And so when they use quarter after 5, they're letting you know that 15 minutes have passed. Most of the time, when we're on this half of the clock that's shaded in, we can say, people will use the word after for this side. So anytime that's here, they might say after, 5 after, 10 after, quarter after, 20 after, 25 after, and then we get to 30 and they say half past. When we start getting to the unshaded side, people start talking about the next hour. So they talk about, even though this is 35 minutes, what they do is they count how many minutes from 7 all the way back to 12, which is 0 again. So let's do that now. I'm just going to show you that they count from here to here. That's 5, 10, 15, 20, 25. It takes 25 minutes to get back to 12. Because of that, people might use the word 25 minutes to or till. Some people might use the word till 7 or 8, because that's the next hour. If the hour is 7 and then they want to go to 8, they might say 25 minutes till 8. That's also the same time as 7:35. Some people might use the word after, but not likely. So right here I have 8:41. If I wanted to use words for this, first I would find 40. So we know that 8 is 40 on the clock. I'm going to use a different color. And so that's 41. So if I want to count how many minutes to get back to 12, I'm going to count all my little tick marks in between. So we know there are 4 tick marks in between. And so I can still count by 5s, but I have to start here at 41. So I'm going to count 5, 10, 15, and then I can't count another 5, so now I'm going to count by 1. 16, 17, 18, 19. So 8:41 could also be called 19 minutes to 9 because 9 is the next hour after 8. And so those are using time words to describe the time. When you look at your homework tonight, just a quick note before we end, when you look at your homework tonight, there are 2 parts of your homework. So it asks you, the first part asks you to tell how many total minutes he spends gardening. So when you think of telling someone about all of the minutes he spends together, we know that we are going to do something to pull those together. And in math, you have to tell me what that is. When you get to B and it asks you to tell if he starts at 2 o'clock p.m., can he make it on time for the movie? Once you figure out how many total minutes it takes him to garden in A, you're going to use that information down in B to help you. So if he starts at 2, you're going to have to take the total minutes that it takes him to garden in A and use the number line to add that to 2 o'clock. And then that'll tell you if he can do it before 2:55. And then that'll help you explain your thinking. Tell me why he has enough time or why he does not. Okay, that is time words and also a little bit of homework advice.